Right, let's start. So hello everyone, welcome. Thank you for joining us for this event, and also thank you Lingnan University for hosting. My name is Joy Lee. I'm an internship coordinator at CareerDC. So just to introduce CareerDC a bit, we were established in 2011 and we are currently located in Sydney, Australia. And we've been coordinating internships in all professional fields for Australian and international students. CareerDC has proudly facilitated more than 3,500 successful internships. In fact, several of those successful internships are Lingnan University students. We have been coordinating internships with Lingnan University for a little over 6 years, and we've continued to do so till this day. Since launching our services to include online internships, we've seen a huge popularity for it for both Australian and international students. The main reason is that it's more affordable and it provides flexible working hours for those who have other responsibilities. Also, many students enjoy gaining international work experience without needing to move away from their home country. So with that being said, joining me from my end, our Managing Director, Mcdad Hassan, Xiaofei Shi, our Partnerships Manager, and Jennifer Zhang, our Student Support Officer. The agenda for today's event, Xiaofei will be doing an informational presentation about online internships. The topics that she'll touch on will be like, what is an online internship and the benefits of doing an online internship. And then after that, we'll have a Q&A session and then a topic discussion. So I would like to welcome Xiaofei to start telling you about all the good things about online internships.
Hi, thank you, Joey, for the introduction. Okay, everyone is talking about online or remote internship these days. However, do you really know what is an online internship and how it works? Today, let me share with you some information and our experience about online internships. Hopefully, it can give you more insights. So internship programs in general provide students and graduates the opportunity to experience a real working environment with a company. An internship is aiming to give students a chance to gain professional work experience and real-world skills relevant to your studies. Traditionally, an internship is carried out in a host company's office or site. Our online internship programs are in principle the same as those traditional ones. The big difference is that our online internships are carried out remotely rather than on-site. Our online internship program will give you a real opportunity to take part in work tasks, project work, teamwork that allows you to apply your knowledge, gain through your studies, learn more from the task and professionals you're working with, and develop further professional skills and abilities, both technical and interpersonal. During an online internship, you will receive training, mentoring, and monitoring as you would in a traditional internship carried out in an office. You will be assigned tasks relevant to your study field, such as a marketing student receiving social media management, digital marketing, market research related tasks, while an engineering student will be assigned tasks relevant to engineering design, drawing reviews, or coding. As an online internship is done remotely, the training and monitoring will also be done remotely. Meetings and supervisory sessions will be conducted via video calls rather than face-to-face. Usually, you will get to meet your supervisor regularly a couple of times per week to go through the updates and receive constructive feedback and suggestions on your work. Then you can work on the task autonomously for the rest of the time. However, if you have a question, your supervisor usually is contactable during the business hours. So these are the basic natures of an online internship. Now let's talk about the major benefits of an online internship. So the first and most obvious benefit is that you get to gain skills that can be useful for your future job hunting. Exactly like a traditional on-site internship, the goal of an online internship is to provide you with a chance to apply your learning and to gain practical work experience. After an online internship, you will have a range of skills and experience that you can showcase and rely on when you start looking for work at the end of your studies. And you can surely put this experience on your resume to make your profile even more competitive and stronger. The second and most amazing benefit is that it can be done anywhere. As an online internship is carried out remotely, it provides additional benefits to a more traditional office-based internship. An online internship can be carried out from any place and any geographical location, as long as the student has a desktop or a laptop and access to the internet. An online internship is accessible to anyone, regardless of the student's location or physical abilities. When an internship is carried out online, there will be no need to commute and certainly no need to relocate in order to access the work experience opportunity. This is a great benefit, particularly to someone who would like to gain experience from a host company that is in a different city or even abroad, and someone, for whatever reason, is not able to relocate or physically access the company's premises. The next benefit I'm going to talk about is related to the last benefit. You can actually achieve a better match. How can that be? Let me explain this to you. Since an online internship can be done anywhere, a student engaging in an internship online will have a greater choice of host companies and could gain work experience from a company based in a different city or even a different country. Therefore, the student's choice are no longer restricted by the physical location. You can work with a company anywhere in the world. Therefore, you will not necessarily need to settle for local internship opportunities that may not be a good match to your study field, just for the sake of doing an internship. It's always better to work on meaningful tasks rather than doing less relevant tasks such as photocopying or coffee making. After all, you are hoping to develop real skills through the internship for your future career. The next benefit is a non-negligible benefit. You get to save on the expense. An online internship can provide a student with a very manageable and cost-effective way to gain industry experience. In addition to removing the need to travel, there will be no need to pay additional living expenses. Imagining you don't need to pay for the return flight tickets and 3 months accommodation while gaining a real work experience from a company in your dream destination. How good is that? Another great benefit for a student is that you will get to enjoy flexible working hours. An online internship provides greater flexibility. The task of the online internship can be carried out from pretty much everywhere, such as your home, your dormitory, library, school, or even a cafe or shopping center without loud music, of course. As long as the hours are discussed and agreed with the host company, the task could be carried out on any days of the week at any time suitable for the intern. This flexibility means that an online internship is a great option for students and graduates who have other commitments, such as a part-time job or study commitment. The last benefit is very important. You get to develop your autonomy and proactivity ability. By nature, an online internship will allow for a great deal of autonomy. This particular skill is essential for any professionals these days. Therefore, it's certainly a useful ability to develop for you. It can also lead to greater productivity. since you have the choice to manage your work as long as you meet the requirements from the host company. You can really make it work for you. Be proactive, get the most out of the internship opportunity, and learn as much as you can during the experience. And you will be in control of your time and how you will use it. I'm sure you have heard that the American giant social media company Twitter announced last year that their employees can now work from home forever. As being able to manage remote work efficiently is certainly becoming the trend of the world and one of the essential abilities for any professional in the world. Starting to know how to work remotely efficiently now can build you up to a professional who is able to work with most of the host organization after you graduate from uni. Okay, so these are the major benefits about our online internship program. So as Joey mentioned, we will now move to our topic discussion and Q&A section. If you have any question about our program, or you want to share your thoughts on this, feel free to ask us a question and we will try our best to answer those questions for you. Is there anyone who would like to turn on their camera so we can see you and say hi to you?
Okay, so maybe we will just ask some questions to understand more about the audience. So, for example, like, can you tell us which industries are you studying? Like the majority here, for example, who is studying business, let's say, general business? Who is studying political science?
This is just an open discussion.
It's an open discussion so that we will get to know more about what you are studying, so that, you know, we will understand more about you, you will learn more about us. Social sciences, so we've got one student who's studying social sciences, finance student. This is helpful so that we will be able to talk about these topics. And general business, so social sciences, translation, okay, data science, very good. So we have a mix. So if we like the social science with business, then translation, and then general business, and there's one data science, and then one finance. Okay, so let's take some examples. For example, let's say, what would you do? Like the social sciences, are you, because we have two social sciences, are you open to general business and marketing internships? There's risk and insurance management. So the social sciences, this is a question to the social science students. Are you generally open to general business or marketing internships, or do you have any specific requirements? So what I'm going to do now, let's just talk about, you know, examples of projects-based internships. So sometimes what we do with the internships, we structure the internships under a project. So let's say, for example, if someone is studying, let's say, data analysis, at the moment we have a company in Sydney that do drones, IoT, Internet of Things, and they to actually do before they start programming these devices they are designing, they need to collect data. So they work with data scientists in order to collect data and analyze it. Now, this work could involve Python programming, for example, or could involve other tools. That's a 2 to 3 month project that the students can work on. This is a project-based, what the company uses for communication. I'm just using this as a scenario because this is a real scenario here, that company uses Skype for communication, and they structure their students into groups. So for example, if they have someone else who's studying data science and the programmer, they might put them all into a Skype group so they get to communicate with each other. And at the same time, the industry supervisor from the host company will meet the students via Skype. A minimum of once a week, a video meeting, minimum of once a week, and the rest of the communication can be done by email or by Skype chat, depending on your preference and the company's preference. But they meet by video call at least once a week during that time. That's an example. For the other students, for example, let's say finance internships, you could, depends if you work, if you do an internship for a finance firm, you might do some analysis, research, reporting. We had a meeting in the city with a finance company the other day in Sydney, and they do a lot of reporting. So they get their interns to work on collecting data, collecting information about certain companies, so that they would generate reports so that they can show it to investors, and then they will help their investors make decisions. We have another finance company that they are based in Australia, but they do real estate investments in the US, and they do financial analysis for the real estate sector in the US. For the general business, there are plenty of internships in many areas. For example, digital marketing. A lot of companies could be interested in taking on interns to work on marketing campaigns, social media platforms management. And you could work on a project-based internship, or it could be on on a daily tasks-based internships. Translation, we do have a company in Melbourne, Shafe, I think, that do take translation interns. And we have we place students that studied translation from Lingnan University before.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. The social sciences is very broad, depending on your requirements, so you can tell us. The good thing is that after this session, we will send you an email about our services, and then you can decide if you would like to meet with our consultants. Most likely you will be meeting with Jennifer for a free, no obligation consultation online, where we will collect more information about you, understand more about what you would like to achieve in an internship, and at the same time you get to ask us questions one-on-one with Jennifer. And Jennifer is very nice, so you can ask her as many questions as you like. That's during this is Jennifer, yeah. So that's during the one-on-one session.
And she can speak Mandarin if you prefer to speak Mandarin to her. Correct.
Yeah. So these are all examples of internships. Generally, all the internships that anything to do with professional services, we can provide it remotely. So all of these areas that are mentioned in this group, they are all achievable. But of course, we will need to understand more about the specifics. what you are exactly looking for. Any other questions that you would like to ask?
Another feature of our program I would like to mention is that because we coordinate internship all over the year, we do not just coordinate internship during a summer break or winter break, because we have students coming from all over the world. They have different plans. So we actually get students to start anytime, like at any time of the year. We have students looking for internship, and we also have companies looking for intern all year around. So there's no specific time frame, like we can only coordinate an internship for that specific time frame. So it's very flexible. So whenever you want to start an internship, you just need to let us know so we can start a search for you. And it may take a couple of weeks to find you a placement, because that may depend on your interview performance or the decision of the company. However, we do guarantee a placement, which means even you fail the interview, that's fine. As long as you try your best for the interview, we will continue the search until we find you a placement. And based on our experience, usually with our support and training, our students, usually most of them manage to pass the first or second interview in order to receive an internship offer. So this is another feature of our program. And you must be curious about the duration of the internship. This is also flexible. So we usually do 4 to 12 weeks internship for online internship. So it really depends on your plan. You can do it just the chosen duration you prefer. And you can always clarify the hours. As I mentioned in the presentation earlier, you can clarify and discuss your working hours with the host company. Usually, I think it's roughly 20 hours per week. This is accumulated. So as long as you discuss with the company beforehand and you work on your task for accumulated hours of 20, as long as you can deliver the task and the deadline to the host company. So these can be really flexible. And yes, if you have any question, ask in the group. Do you know someone who is doing an online internship now, like this year or last year? You can just type in the group if you prefer to do so. Probably not yet. So this is the opportunity. So you can share your online internship experience with your friends. And you must be curious about the certificate, right? Because everyone wants to get a certificate if you successfully completed your internship. So this is also included in our program. So as long as you complete your internship, we guarantee that an internship completion letter or certificate will be provided to confirm your start date, end date, and also the internship task. So you can actually use this letter for your future job application and put this real experience on your CV. And this is very important, I'm sure, for anyone who wants to undertake an internship.
Okay, this is a question we are genuinely interested in, like in an answer in this. What do you think as a student, what do you think would be the most challenging aspect while doing a remote internship? What do you think is the challenge?
I think someone just put in a group that they found this very quite fresh idea, so which means doing an online internship is a new thing.
Yeah.
The students.
So what do you think would be the most difficult things during an online internship? I'm actually genuinely interested. I want to know what the students think.
Is there anything you are afraid of
Yeah.
for undertaking an online internship you're not sure about?
Doing the project individually. Okay, very good. So this is a good question. It's not always individually, it's case by case, depending on the situation. So yeah, this is a very good question. Can communicate, balance studies and internship? Okay, very good. So we'll just deal with them one at a time. Doing the project alone, this is case by case, depending on the company and the type of the internship. For example, we actually had a high school student who was going to uni, Chinese student studying in Canada. And she's done an internship with a company in Australia. She was studying marketing, like she wanted to study a degree in marketing. And she's done all the work by herself. That company specifically were very patient, and they were actually teaching her one-on-one, and they were very happy with her. So they were, and that worked out. In other situations, we have other students that work in groups. For example, at the moment, we have a group of students that are working on an applet design for a web page. So you've got someone who's doing coding and someone who is an engineer who is doing the actual design, like the draft of the device, and the programmer will code the application onto the web so that the visitors can interact with the design of that device. So you've got an engineer and a software developer working together on one project. And we have other projects that we have up to 5 students working on it. For example, we have a university here in Australia that put general business and marketing students with accounting students together, and they work on commercialization projects. For example, we had a company that worked on design of a smart helmet, and that was a startup. And this group of students worked on the commercialization aspects. So what they did is that they've done some research, and they've done a presentation at the end of their internship, which was project-based. They've done a presentation of how can they make this product more commercial, like how can they sell it to the public, what kind of strategies they will use, how to market it, and they work together. So it's case by case, depending on which company you will have the interview with, and we will support you in the process. If you think it's working for you, if you think it's too difficult, we will support you, and we will make sure that you will get the best experience. After all, it's all flexible. The companies we work with, we are very fortunate to have companies that we work with. They are very passionate about helping students, and they have experience in working with students. So I hope that answers your question regarding the project. The next question was, can't communicate with coworkers efficiently. Nowadays, it's better to start getting used to this way of working. I think so. Even in our team, we are working now remotely. We're having daily meetings online. We use what we call huddle meetings. So we meet online. As I mentioned, the companies we work with, they are open, so you can meet with them. It's better to get used to it. Every company uses different tools, and that's a good opportunity for you as well, because this is the future. The future is remote. The future is distributed. You will see more and more companies having teams all over the world. You know, they will have teams working from different time zones, different offices, homes, different locations, and different skills. So this is a good opportunity to get used to this and learn the tools. What kind of tools would you use? You know, where each company is different. Some companies, they use Skype, some they use Zoom, some they use Google applications, some they use Microsoft Teams. Some companies, especially technology startups, they use Slack. I think it's better to take this opportunity to learn about how can you communicate efficiently using the right technology tools with your team worker, with your teammates, with your colleagues. This is the best opportunity because this is the future. So, and again, if you find any difficulties, we know it's an internship, it's not a job. So if you find any difficulties with communication, talk to us directly and we will resolve the issue. We will make sure that we will improve the situation. But if it's just because of the tools, then we encourage you to learn them. But as I said, we will definitely support you if you have any issue during the internship. The next question is balancing studies and internship at the same time. I think this is an ongoing situation. The good news about a remote internship, you don't need to travel, you don't need to come to Australia or New Zealand. You don't need to travel. You know, you will save time on traveling to an office and coming back. Generally, you do it in your own time. So Shafi said roughly about 20 hours approximately, but this is in your own time. You can work in the weekend, at night, in the morning. The only thing that we will ask you to be disciplined with is that when the company wants to meet you and they set up a time or a regular time to meet you, then it's better to show up on time and make sure that you stick. So this is the only thing that you need to be very disciplined about. The rest of the week, so you meet with the company minimum once a week, sometimes twice, depending on on the company and your performance. But let's say about once a week average, and then just during that time we will need you to show up on time. The rest of the work you can do it in your own time. So it's very flexible. From Peng to everyone, the first time doing this kind of project may feel difficult and don't know how to do. And since it's online, maybe not convenient to communicate and ask questions. I want to know, will there be tutors who will guide us to complete the project in detail? What will happen? That's why I'm very happy actually with these answers, because I really wanted to know what the students think. Because here we are, you know, we're working with the companies and we're working with the students, and sometimes we don't get this opportunity to understand things from students that are still not enrolled in our service. So I think regarding the difficulty, it could be challenging depending on your level of skill, depending on you know, what kind of projects you are working on. Would there be any tutor? Generally, the industry supervisors are very supportive. I don't think there will be someone else, because I don't think that there will be someone else to give you advice except for the industry supervisor. However, as I said, if you have any issues, you can talk to us directly, even during the interview. I'll just give you an example. We had a student who had an interview the other day. Shafi, I think you connected me with her. And she did not, in the interview, the company gave her a test. It was a technical test. And she was an IT student. And she did not understand the test. But I think she was shy. She didn't ask the company, like, what do they mean? So Shafi connected me with her, and I actually had a session with her online, and I understood what the company wanted. I didn't resolve the test for her because I'm not supposed to. After all, you as the intern, it's a challenge for you. You have to resolve it. But I told her what it means and how it should be done. And then she went and done it by herself. But we clarified, so we cannot really we will not be able to do the work for you, but we can guide you. If you are having an issue, not understanding something, we also have a technical team. So if you need anything technical, we can also assist you with it. But generally, from our experience with young people, young people are very talented. They don't know, especially from a technical perspective. Like even according to a research, I've read an article recently that the skills gap is like this. You know, a lot of young people, they overestimate their personal communication skills. and underestimate their technical skills. So what does this mean? This means that maybe you think you will perform in interviews well, but in reality you may not, because of communication skills. You were not exposed to many companies. But what this also means is that once you pass the interview, get the internship, most likely you will do well technically, because most young students and graduates underestimate their technical skills. You are all a digital generation, so you understand how to use computers, you understand how to work remotely, how to communicate effectively online. I think you underestimate all of these things, that you are actually ahead of us, ahead of someone my age, in these things. So I think you will do really well. But if there are any issues, as I said, we can help guide you. We cannot do the work for you, but we can help guide you, and we can always communicate with the industry supervisor to make things easier for you. After all, it's not, as I said, it's not a job, it's an internship. So this is an opportunity for you to learn. So if you get a challenge, I suggest that you take it. It's very good for you, because it will push you outside your comfort zone and you will get to learn more. With COVID, even us as a company, we learned a lot. We were pushed to, work remotely, change all our tools. We had to learn a lot about technology so fast, so you can use challenges to learn and to upskill yourself. I hope I answered this question. What will happen if we don't complete it well? Okay, so that's the last part of the question. What will happen if you don't complete the project well? This depends on the type of the project. Some of the projects, even if you don't complete it, the company already has a plan and will hand it over, and we will help them find other interns that will complete the project for you. Generally, the companies don't, from our experience, they don't judge you based on the result as much as based on your punctuality. Are you showing up on time? Are you keen? Are you trying your best? Are you learning? Are you communicating with them well? Do you respect them? Are you asking them questions? Are you answering their questions? Are you communicating well? All of these things, they judge you more on these things, because they know that you are a student. They know that you don't have experience. They judge you based on your punctuality, your personal attributes, these skills, much more than the result of the project. Because the companies are just doing this. They may get a good result from you, and this is what they want, but they also understand that you are a student and you are learning, and you're using this as an opportunity to learn. So what is more important here is that you treat them well, you keep a good relationship with them, and most likely you will get the work experience certificate signed by them if you keep a good relationship. Not really based on the exact result. If you do really well and you get the best result in your projects, of course they will give you the best recommendations. But that doesn't mean that they will not recommend you, or they will not write you a good reference if you didn't complete the project fully. There are so many variables here, like the duration of the project and the complexity of it. So I would say here, focus more on how you treat the company, how punctual, your work ethics. This is a test for your work ethics. These are more important things that the company judge the intern on.
Regarding the communication concern, I just want to add a bit more about my experience, because I know everyone, they thought they will communicate more efficiently when they work in the office. But in reality, do you think that's really the case? Because from my experience, when I was working in the office, so Migdad is our boss, right? So when we want to speak to our boss about something, he is a busy man. He is always in meetings, or out for meetings or on the phone, or he's busy with something. We know we shouldn't interrupt him. So we will always have to wait actually for hours to actually have a meeting with Lignan and talk about it. But now, since we are all working online, when I want to speak to Lignan or other colleagues, even today we had a difficult situation and we need 3 employees to discuss this situation together. We actually just chat each other. We have our group chat for work. We use Google Suite, so we have a Google chat involving all the colleagues, and then we just chat each other and do you have a time to have a meeting now? And within 5 minutes, everyone say, I'm free now, let's have a meeting. And then I just sent out a Google meeting invite to everyone with a link, and within 1 minute, everyone is showing up on my screen. And we're actually discussing the issue, and the problem was resolved within 5 minutes. You see, is it really, you think it's less efficient by working online? I don't think so, because these days I feel like I don't have to spend time just to wait for a meeting, to have a meeting with my boss or have a meeting with my colleagues, because they might go for lunch or they're on the phone or something. But I feel like personally, I do enjoy work remotely because it's very efficient. And sometimes people just feel like, it's less efficient because you are not familiar with the people. Imagine you are trying to speak to your mom or your friend. When you send them a message on WeChat or WhatsApp message, they always reply to you. And when you want to video chat with them, they always just video chat you back or answer your call. They are not very hard to communicate. And they are also living another city, maybe from a different city. And we don't feel that it's very inefficient to communicate with our family or friend because we already know them. I think you just have this unsure feeling because you don't know about your supervisor and you have some uncertainty towards this company and project. And I highly encourage you to think about these ways, then you might feel it's not that intimidating to work remotely with a company. Just my thoughts, yeah.
Any other questions? Sarah, would you like to ask us any questions?
Oh, yes. I just want to clarify the application procedures for my students because it was not specified very clearly in the brochure, right?
Shafe, I think, is the best person to explain this.
Okay, as Lignan mentioned, after this webinar, we will send everyone an email with the detailed program information, and we will ask the student if they would like to have a free consultation session with us, either over the phone, Skype, Google Meet, Zoom, WeChat. We can do everything that suits them. And then we will discuss with them individually about the program, clarify their further question. I'm sure they have other questions they would like to ask before they actually enroll. And after that, we will also ask for their CV, so we have a copy of their CV. And then if they're happy to go ahead with our program, we will send them the enrollment email with our enrollment form for them to complete online and sign online. And then we also have the payment platform. We will send them the link to our payment platform where they can pay the initial fee, which is $300. And then we will update their CV, and they will also get an updated version of their CV. We will start connecting them with host company, organize interviews, provide one-on-one interview training to them before the interview. And then if they pass the interview and they're happy to go ahead with this internship, then we will confirm an internship for them. We will also organize a 3-party agreement. Sarah, you should be familiar with that. We will send an agreement to company, student, and you to sign it with the start day, end day, and the internship task. And then they will proceed with the second payment, which is $500. And the total fee is $800. And if they don't pass the interview, that's fine. We will try to find out the reason why they didn't pass the interview and give them advice. And then we will continue looking until we find them placement. So the total program fee is $800, and that's including a $300 initial payment, pretty much just show their commitment to the program. And then we start a search, and they only need to pay the remaining $500 once their internship is 100% confirmed. And also, Sarah probably mentioned to you that you are eligible for a subsidy if you undertake an international work experience, and it actually covers the program fee. But for further details, you need to contact Sarah about how to apply for the subsidy and if there's a deadline for it.
Actually, about the deadline, we don't have any deadline for applying for subsidies. So as long as you apply for CareerDC internship, online internship, and you got a placement successfully, then you can contact me for making the application. The application is also online, and I have actually sent out the email information to you guys, okay, regarding our application. So if you still have questions, just contact me, okay?
Great, that's really great that there's no deadline for applying the subsidy. And I saw that there's a student mentioning that they have final exams coming up. Of course, you can focus on your exams for now and then just contact us. We can even schedule a meeting after your exam to discuss the details. And another student asked a question about the work visa issue. So you don't need to apply for a work visa to undertake an online internship. So there's no need to get a visa. Yeah. Any other question? Very good question you guys asked.
Yeah, very good questions. So yeah, regarding the visa, as Shafi said, it's not needed. And regarding application form, so we provide all of the links and everything. I think we will send an email to everyone, all of the attendees, about our services, and then they can send us an email and tell us when they are available. So if you are only available after your exams, you can tell us, okay, please set up a meeting for me with you, I think in May maybe or something. Just give us the dates when you would like to meet with us, and Jennifer will set up a meeting according to your availability.
And just in case, sometimes our email goes to your spam box. So just make sure you check your spam box. And if you don't get an email within this week, that's definitely something wrong. You can try to contact us via WeChat. I think on the poster, we have our WeChat ID, and also we have our email you can get from our website. Just mention you are coming from Lingnan University.
Yes, I'll also type the email here in the chat group just to keep it with you, just in case if you have any quick questions for us. So this is the email. I'll put the contact email because that's the email that Shafi and Jennifer accesses. So it's contact@careerdc.com.au. As Shafi said, just make sure that you tell us that you are from Lingnan University, because we do have the special offer, the special price for the Lingnan University, and it matches the subsidy. So it's a very good arrangement for you. May I ask whether your program will be responsible for one internship opportunity? Every enrollment is for one internship opportunity. Now, after you finish that internship, if you want to do a second one, you just need to re-enroll again.
also with our contact email and our WeChat. You can also share it with your friends. So maybe some of your friends were too busy to come to this webinar. It's okay. You can share this our contact details, and then they can also ask us questions.
Any other questions?
I just want to mention something else about the culture in Australia. In general, we find that the work culture in Australia is more relaxed than most of the Asian country. So usually we don't have this hierarchy thing at the company, and usually employees can speak to their boss quite like equally, like we call each other by first name. We don't usually say Mr. or Miss or boss someone in Australia. So it's more relaxed, and that also reflects in the interview process. We have done hundreds of interview trainings to students, and a lot of them come back after the interview telling us, oh, the company just asked me about how did you get here? What do you think about our task? Instead of asking me a lot of questions about what's your goal, what are your weaknesses, and like what are your strengths. So see, companies are in general relaxed. That's just the culture. It doesn't mean that they're not serious about things. It's like when we speak to companies, we also say hello or hi. We don't usually say dear sir or dear someone. So it's a very interesting difference. So when you do an internship with a company in Australia and New Zealand, you also get to experience this culture thing, which is very different when you do an internship in China or in Japan or in Taiwan. This is something new to you as well, and it's very interesting for you to experience.
Yeah, and just to add on to that, most of our companies are more interested in like what type of person you are. So just as what McDad said before, they want to know like your interpersonal skills, how well you communicate, how well you like pretty much respect everyone, and also just like how you get along with everyone in their company. So their main focus is how friendly you are rather than like what type of skills you have. Of course, your skills are important. However, that's just not their main purpose of why they're interviewing you or why they will take you on.
I would say offering internships are one of the social responsibility of a host company. We also take on intern because we want to offer this opportunity to students and young graduates for them to know how business work. So these are one of the reasons why companies are hosting interns. As Migda said, they are not there to judge you. They want to offer you an experience to know what how it works in a company. And this is, I think this is the most important thing of doing an internship. And as long as you show them you have a really good attitude, you are keen to learn, I would say most of the company, this is the key when they decide whether they want to take you on or not. If you are keen to learn, if you're willing to step out of your comfort zone and learn something new related to your study field. And that's the key to be successful in an internship, whether it's online or on site.
Fantastic. So I think we have been recording this session. We will upload it online when it's done, and I will share it with Sarah. I think then you can share it with the students if you like to. As we said before, Jennifer will send you an email about our service. Feel free to contact us. We will support you throughout the whole process. So thank you very much for your time, for showing up. Very special thanks to Sarah Chow for initiating actually this partnership between CareerDC and Lingnan University since 2015. I just checked the emails. So since 2015, and now it's 2021. So we are very glad about this. Yeah.
Thank you with that. Thank you so much over the years for your support, and your colleagues are so wonderful, and the students have been coming back and saying a lot of good things.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So that's really good. I was very happy when I saw the it's 2015. So wow, it's good. So yeah, thank you very much. And I think we will end the webinar now, and we can communicate after. Thank you very much. All the best with your exams.
Thank you.
All the best with your exams.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for asking the questions. Have a good night.